Spouses who married the cool girl boy from your high school, what are they like now?
My sister married the prom king starting running back from her high school. He got fat but also is a nice dude who makes a killing running some kind of raw materials company. Doesn't talk about the past at all.
My brother married the popular girl. She was homecoming queen, prom queen, on varsity teams, in band, an honor roll student, beautiful and super nice. 17-ish years and 2 kids later, she is still a sweetheart, beautiful and athletic.
My high school friend was the cool guy. Everyone liked him, guys and girls. He never got into fights, was always instantly invited everywhere and girls totally swooned over him. He's still the same awesome dude. Hasn't changed a bit. He married an incredibly hot nurse.
My dad was super popular. Prom king, valedictorian, class president, football captain etc. He has a high ranking but normal role at a smallish to medium-sized company. Pretty normal guy and a good dad. If brought up he will mention his high school years but he doesn't brag.
I had 2 kids with a former prom king. Hess a crackhead now.
I'm an introvert and he's an extrovert. I never knew what to say to him in high school because he was so cool and funny, he intimidated me. Now our differences complement each other I think and we're very happy.
My wife was the hot girl that everyone gossiped about. She's still super hot but is such a wonderful, supportive, loving person. It makes me sad no one took the time to get to really know her when she was young.
Didn't marry her but we dated for a bit. She moved to Arizona for college, stayed there then became a firefighter. Came out as gay and married a woman. We lost touch but she seems happy.
Mom was the cool girl. Still is, still literally gets stopped by strangers talking about how cool pretty whatever she looks acts. But divorced, husband cheated, and widowed, second husband died, so never really managed to get a happily ever after in romance. I've only seen her as a grown-up of course, but going by pictures plus what I remember as a kid, she hasn't changed all that much. I think sometimes she's too used to people being in her orbit and will get sad if something happens where she's not involved. Not overtly so, but you can see she's expecting everyone to always want her there.
I didn't marry one but my husband is friends with a few guys that peaked in high school and they feel the need to relive that beep still talking about the championship that got away 20 years ago.
My mom was the nerdy girl who got all the A's and 0 social skills, and somehow managed to start dating my dad who was the popular, good-looking guy who everyone thought would peak in high school. She was actually advised by her family and friends that he wouldn't give her the future she was hoping for. They got married at 19, had me when they were 20, and while they were pretty broke the first few years of my life, he paid for my mom to attend law school, started his own business and 25 years later with 3 kids, they're still so in love and have a pretty cushy life. My dad actually met one of the loud voices who told my mom she was making a big mistake marrying him, and she had said how she always knew he would turn out well, which he found hilarious.
My brother was the cool guy in high school. Even now, over 20 years later, he has what we call his fans, that follow him everywhere. He has this posse built up of a rotating cast of best friends. He'll shine all his star power on his pick of the week then move on to another one. He's very charismatic, good-looking, life of the party so it's easy to navigate to him. He married the popular girl and his guy friends' wives are her friends. He can also be selfish, rude, dismissive and condescending. I tend to avoid him mainly because it's always a production with his gaggle of friends always around.
She's still the nicest and gorgeous girl I ever met. Nothing changed, she is studying to be a pharmacist, that's something no one would guess, since she always loved history and her school didn't have biology or chemistry. Edit, we weren't from the same school, but she was one of the most popular girl from the school, neighborhood in university class. I met her on a graduation we both gave up.
My best friend was prom king 14 years ago. Now he owns a successful small business. Never had a girlfriend. Never had a boyfriend. Not sure about his sexuality but he's a kick-ass dude. Proud he calls me a friend as I'm an awkward introvert. Edit, thanks for the award you Malcolm. I've only met one camel in my life, and we didn't hit it off.
Reading these answers about prom kings, head cheerleaders, quarterbacks etc. just has me as a Canadian going, wow, American high school really is like on TV. The high school experience just really isn't the same here, at least not in my experience. I don't even think our ideas of popular were really the same. mainly due to how much less important sports are here. I think without football reigning supreme, it allows for way more variation for what makes someone popular.
I hate to be the one that bursts everyone's bubble, but my husband was the good-looking athletic guy with a great sense of humor that all of the girls adored. I was the petite blue-eyed blonde cheerleader that he chased for all 4 years in high school. We ended up getting together after high school graduation and were engaged 6 months later. I should have kept running from him like I did in school. He's now an addict who is verbally and emotionally abusive. He's a compulsive liar and he's stolen prescription medication from me to get high. He's very jealous and has accused me of having an affair with every male I've ever worked with, all without any merit whatsoever. It got so bad at one point that he told me I needed to quit my job and stay home with my son. Then he criticized me for not having a job. I teach high school English, and he is jealous of my male students because he claims he sees the way they watch me and look at me. He's made my life hell. He criticizes and ridicules me for being a diabetic, saying he never intended to marry a cripple, which is hardly the case. I'm happy to say that he'll be getting served with divorce papers very soon. God help the woman who takes my place because he can't do anything for himself. He's never paid a bill, made his own doctor appointments, etc. He's exhausting. He's also that guy who likes to tell our son what a stud he was in school and how he eventually got the girl he wanted. While dating, he portrayed himself to be the man he thought I would see as husband material. However, I quickly saw it was all an act shortly after we married. If I had it to do over, I would have left the country to avoid him. The only good thing to come out of our marriage is my son. I'm sorry that my story was the nightmare in the bunch. I'm just keeping it real.
My brother was one of the hottest guys in high school and went on to be a model. He's still cool and hot to many, but now he's a bit fat. He's my brother, so you on the hot part in my opinion. But women still swoon and he's so obnoxious. Think Pat Dillon, etc. Era. He got dumped by his model 17 years younger wife for a 26-year-old. He has impossible standards and it's making him miserable. He's into these flashy shallow women. Overall he's doing really well and his business is thriving.
Damn, not even any of the cool kids' spouses are on Reddit. Instagram?
My mom was the cool girl all through high school, undergrad, grad school. But life didn't go that well. For most of her life, she had to be caring for someone in the family who was ill, and that took a huge toll on her. First it was her dad, then it was me. I had childhood illnesses, then her in-laws in quick succession, then her dad again, and finally she had to nurse my dad until he passed away from a terminal illness. She was meant to be social and have fun, and instead she was forced to be around sickness and sadness for her best years. But she is a very happy and mentally strong person in general who made the best of things. She hosted a lot of people and events. My house growing up was full of people visiting and having fun. She's very charming and easy to talk to, and has a lot of fans all the time. Though, my siblings and I find her social side rather annoying. She isn't like that with us, and she tells us her charming side is just an act, and the real her is the lady who is constantly critical of us for our own good. She likes having groupies hanging around, people who are happy to take her help and be grateful to her. She has very few friends who could be considered her equals. She also expects a lot from other people and is constantly disappointed. She wants to be the center of everything. She doesn't know to be a guest at anything. She somehow ends up running every event she's invited to. She sincerely believes she's helping, but it's just disrespectful sometimes, and when we tell her that, she doesn't get it. She likes to dominate everything and make decisions for everyone. We joke that if the Prime Minister was her friend, she'd somehow end up running the country for him.
My husband was the prom king and star athlete. I was a super awkward marching band nerd with severe scoliosis and a heart condition. He's always been sweet, silly, smart and kind. Still can't believe we're married. Edit. I whipped up a proof collage, Inger.com gallery years old spo 0 EU. Edit 2. I'll add that we didn't go to the same high school but we met in college. My confidence had drastically improved by then. I was still a dork though, and he was a college baseball player. Picture honestly, we're both dorks smile.
Found out recently, 30M, that my dad was extremely popular in high school from my aunt. I had no idea he was an all-star football player with lots of college offers and was prom and homecoming king. Never talks about it, but he's doing well. 2 kids, a dog, and a loving wife. Emo, he's still winning.
You'll have to ask my wife.
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to subscribe to Upvote for the best quality content every day.